Hey everyone, these are the steps I took to create Alien Lucy. Super easy. So first, I sculpted a base mesh of Lucy based on references I found on Pinterest. I detailed and UV'd and created the eye morphs in Zbrush, and exported a low-poly version of the monster for simulation, which was later triangulated and tetrahedralized for soft body work in Felony. Second, I cleaned up, separated and regrouped parts of her body for precise control over them. Third, simulated a few hundred times the overall motion using tetrahedral fiber constraints, tweaking every time many parameters as their rear tentacle speed, front tentacle speed, mass, body density, and so on. I also made the system in tops that allowed me to simulate 10 versions of the sim with varying parameters overnight. It sped up my finding of the best simulation dramatically. The system also created a bunch of previews for me to analyze in the morning. 4. I made a procedural eye blinking and moving system based on noise and cycling of X attributes. 5. I modeled and simulated the trash can reaction to Lucy's body crawling inside using shape match constraints. I resimulated Lucy using pin to target constraints, but this time colliding with a static trash can lid. This way her ears would get squeezed while she was trying to fit into the gap. 7. I settled and simulated a cardboard ripping sim using shape match and stitch constraints. 8 was making a leaves simulation for the ground to blend with the real fallen leaves. 9. I did a trash can lid lip simulation that reacts to Lucy's ears touching the edge of the lid. 10. I did a slime simulation with vellum grains and glue constraints that rip at a certain tension. This sim was done last, after all the other interdependent sims were finished. 11. I also did a sand and smoke sim, but ended up not using them in comp. 12. All elements were optimized inside the camera view, so the scene would be less heavy while rendering. Okay, so for the comp, I initially shot this video on my iPhone 12 Pro without really knowing what CGI I'll be inserting. So then I tracked the shot with PF Track and also extracted the geometry so I could use it as a reference to remodel the middle trash can. Then I masked the yellow trash can and needed to restore the absent pixels behind my 3D trash can that was supposed to replace the white one. Then I used DALI, or the AI, on a static frame from my original video to fill up the missing pixels of the last green trash can. I used that generated DALI frame onto a proxy geo of my 3D trash can and rendered a full sequence of the restored version with an attenuation alpha that would blend with the original video. As for the lighting, I used a combination of sunlight and an HDR that I always take on a set when I shoot a video with an Insta 360x2 camera. Then for texturing Lucy, I used a decimated and triangulated version of Lucy from Zbrush that retains cavity details that help a lot for shader creations in Substance Painter. For texturing the trash can, I used frames from the video that I reprojected on top of my rebuilt model. I added the shadows, the main render pass, the additional reflections, additional SSS, the subsurface scattering pass, then some ambient occlusion obviously, using various masking techniques. There was a few color correction layers on top of that, as well as the dirt texture of the trash can, and an additional duct tape texture for the cardboard boxes. All this was done using a UV pass from Octane. To cover my 3D trash can, I added back the masked yellow trash can and sharpened some of the 3D layers to match the original footage sharpness. So further you can see a time lapse of some parts of my process. That's it. I hope you liked it.